every episode of The Golden Girls, it still holds up. Just fight me on it.
I'm not going to fight you on that.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know how someone of that caliber fights.
It's dangerous.
I think it might be.
It's the Parlor with Harris and Myles.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are once again. Thank you very much for joining us. Like every week, I appreciate it. I know as we're here in production on my feature that I'm directing, I brought someone last time from the project, and here we are bringing someone else. This time, we've got our specialty here. We've got another actor, a fellow actor of mine. He is in the film with me. Funny guy. Can't wait for you to meet him. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you actor and comedian out here and wearer of frills, Dave Cerwonka. Hey, buddy.
Hello there.
Thanks for joining us in the middle of production. I know it's been kind of crazy and not a whole lot of rest for the wicked, but
well, when you're doing the movies, when you're making stuff, you got to bust your butt. It's never enough time in the day.
You got to bust your butt. That's right. Well said by Dave Cerwonka. Busting your butt. Not enough time in the day.
Now I can't hear myself.
Now you can't. Well,
there we go.
Oh, it might have been unplugged.
There it is.
There it is.
Now I have both ears. I can hear in the left and the right.
Perfect. We have full surround sound of hearing.
I feel so much more comfortable now.
Dave, thank you so much for joining us here. And,
cheers. Thank you.
Coming on the podcast on The Parlor. We always love having great, wonderful, talented, ambitious guests here. So
thank you.
Why don't you let the audience know a little bit about who Dave Cerwonka is? Dave, I'll start pretty easy. What got you into acting?
I'm just an attention whore. That's no.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. No, I think for me, part of it was growing up. I'm the youngest of 6 kids. And
let me lower this.
Yeah. The youngest of 6, and was always, by the time I came along after the other 5, it was like, hello, I'm over here. Can someone please feed me? So I had to talk. I had to project to, be included in the meal plan, and I was always the comedy relief in a very tense devout Catholic family.
How was that growing up in a devout Catholic family?
I don't recommend it to your audience. Not in my experience, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
To the audience that has a choice of choosing their family.
Yes, if you could choose, in my opinion, if you could choose whether to be in a devout Catholic family or not, I would say...
Like if you could sway your parents and their decision-making and what they choose to believe?
Yeah,
Perfect.
I would say no, don't do that.
Take that advice.
Years of therapy will follow. Hopefully, if you figure it out, years of therapy will be needed for that. Maybe even if you're not devout Catholic raised, you'll still need therapy. But that was. I think for me, it was just trying to break the tension in the family, and I've always been a ham of a person.
Yeah, that you are. I'm not sure the definition you're using, but I'm using it in an endearing, in a positive way.
Oh, thank you, Harrison.
You're a very ham of a person. What did you mean by that?
I mean, just loving attention, loving to entertain. I like to entertain people. I think why I'm a comedian, I love making people laugh. I like
You're
making
good at
people feel welcome. I like hosting events and shows, and I like talking to people.
Yeah.
I like asking people interesting questions, and that's teehee.
Well, one thing, one thing I found pretty funny actually working with you is, as I'm the director of the film, I'll be directing you, and and you will be. We bring the dogs to the office.
We're being heckled right now. By the way, that's the peanut gallery.
I'll direct you to do something, or the other director Z will direct you to do something, and you'll still be in character, just like just living in that moment. It's just I found it very nice, but also very funny. It's really cool.
Oh, thanks.
I can't wait for you guys to see his character. He plays a fucking great character in the movie. Great character.
I've never for a production for shooting. I've never done something like that where I've tried to do that, and I think the thing for me was because I was really trying to find Bastian's voice. That it felt. I didn't want to keep going back and forth between, because obviously, I couldn't do that for like weeks and weeks and weeks nonstop, wake up in the morning till the evening. But it felt like, when I knew we were about to shoot and when, we were getting ready, that's when I felt like, Bastian was starting to come out.
He really, it typically does unfold that way, but, I don't know, man, you're doing a great job, and
thanks.
You're doing such a wonderful job, especially because this is a fully improvised movie.
Insane. That's an insane concept, but props to Harrison and Z. Yep.
Props to you. You're really bringing it, without with a character with
God,
a backstory.
I hope so.
And no dialogue to really go off of. You're really bringing this. It takes a talented person, and
very little dialogue.
Yeah, you're bringing it to life, and you're doing an excellent job, I gotta say.
Thank you.
We're really satisfied.
But what I like, even though not a lot of dialogue, what I did like about the way your script was, and I think I probably read it 15 times at least, is that, like a good improv, you gave a lot of structure and boundaries to the scenes. So you had a goal, or you had, this is how we want it to end up. And also, like, in the moment, we play with things, obviously, but not that, like, it's a blank, 90 pages of blank pages.
Of course, yeah. I think structure is 100% necessary, but you're free to color within the box, whatever type, and even go out of the box a little bit. Like, it's fun to go out.
Yeah, I think and also just it's crazy how much the wardrobe and costuming and what you wear informs how you feel. That blue satin jacket for our that. Like, that jacket in itself. I'm
thinking about it now, and it's like, what a
Where
treat.
is that jacket, by the way?
What a treat. That's not for you, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. It's for Bastian and someone else.
That is for, when we finish filming, that jacket will be going somewhere.
Okay. Maybe in the museum.
Maybe in the museum that you were visiting on the way over here before you came to the podcast.
Yes.
Which, talk about that a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Do we have any Wes Anderson fans out there? There's a really fun museum piece. It's called Accidentally Wes Anderson, and essentially a group of people all over the world took photos of places, hotels, spots that to them kind of has that Wes Anderson aesthetic, and they turned it into a giant photography collection. And it takes probably about an hour to see all of it. And there's a little movie at the end. There's one where they're in Switzerland. They go to Antarctica. But there's all kinds of really cool hotels, and there's a whole exhibit of photography on doorways, just like really neat looking doorways and entrances. And they had in Iraq, the gate, the Ishtar Gate. It's one of the most famous entrances in the world, and then come to find out it was stolen by the Germans in the early 20th century.
So this idea of this
goddamn
concept,
Germans. Am I allowed to curse on this podcast?
Say whatever the fuck you want.
Fuck the Germans of the early 20th century. Yeah, they stole it. So there's a reproduction of the original gate in Iraq, and the Iraqi government is still trying to get the Germans to give back the original gate.
What's the issue?
They took it. They don't want to give it back.
What? Why do they want to give them back?
I don't know. You tell me.
Tell them to Facebook them or something.
Maybe Iraq does Iraq have Facebook? Do we know?
Just as a whole, they're like, we're Iraq, and here's our Facebook.
Here's our face. You call us. Message me on what is it? Instant Messenger?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
WhatsApp.
Give me a little DM. It's a German DM. Sorry, we can't. No, we really like your gate. I'm sorry. It's ours now.
I think that's what the issue is. They really like it.
Yeah, I think it's probably the Nazis probably took it. If in the little thing that shows, next to the picture, it just says the Germans in the earliest 20th century. So I'm like, probably somewhere around there.
Give it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's an interesting place. But do you think, going back to the satin jacket, do you think that satin jacket belongs in a Wes Anderson film?
Oh yes.
So it
oh
would
yeah.
belong in that
No.
museum.
That's a Grand Budapest Hotel. Yeah, yeah, I could see like Ray Fiennes wearing that in a scene or something. Yeah, it was nice. I mean,
What if we look
hopefully
back
you
and
guys
we
will
see-
get to see it in the film.
Hopefully.
and,
What the fuck does that mean, Dave?
I mean, if you are lucky enough to get to see the film,
There we go.
you'll see this jacket. Yeah, it was magical. That's
what was
the only-
magical?
The color, the blue.
Oh, the color is
the
magical.
feel of the jacket, the sensuousness of it,
Yeah, it is a nice
the
jacket.
the sensuosity, if that's a word. Is sensuosity a word?
Sensuosity is not a word.
Oh, okay.
I just looked it up in the dictionary. That's
Oh,
what the
did you?
long pause was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It takes 0.3 seconds for me to look up things. I have a Neuralink.
No, you do.
Yeah.
I just make things up sometimes, I will admit.
But do you do it in an intelligent way where people are like, oh,
Oh, I try to. I think the thing I've learned as a white man, is just if you look like you know what you're doing, no one generally asks
you're 100%
questions.
correct. Can you give us an example, and can you just feed me bullshit right now?
Feed you bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I'm going to, oh, I didn't know that, I didn't know that Asia and Australia are so close together.
Well, of course. Yeah, yes, actually they for a long time in geological history, Harrison, they were connected by a land bridge. And that's where the dinosaurs came over originally from Asia into Australia, and then the glaciers melted, Harrison. And that's why now Australia is a continent with no boundaries around it except water.
See, I'm lost now, so now I'm just going to agree with you.
Yeah, and now you're going to enter my cult.
Oh,
You're welcome.
okay. Let's do it. You've convinced me.
I feel like we could probably start a pretty good cult. I think we could do that. I'm surprised you haven't come up with that idea for a movie.
Well,
yet. Oh no. Is it already a concept?
There's a culty. It's funny. There's a culty concept in one of my upcoming films, but that one is a few years away. I'd say like we're probably not going to shoot that one for like 3 or 4 years. 3 years, I'd say.
I'm fascinated by that stuff. Like, did you see the Nexium documentary?
Nexium?
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Nexium, there's like 2 different movies. I think one was on HBO, and it started out as like a business improvement kind of thing that was like done like in the late 90s, early 2000s.
A business improvement.
Yeah, it was like how to improve your work acumen and your business acumen. And
What year?
They in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
For sure.
And it was a way to like improve yourself. It was the way it was kind of really marketed, was like improve yourself, improve your confidence, improve your work life. And it was really a cult. And like all cults, as we know, it's about, one guy who wants to fuck all the women in the cult. And and that's what it was.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it was kind of like marketed as like, here, it's going to help your life and better you. But then also the way that they co-opt the women into like convincing them all to like fuck this one guy. And
Yeah, I'm very interested in how they can coerce them into that and completely just brainwash them and thinking, oh yeah, I need to fuck this dude.
yeah, I mean,
regularly.
look at Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, same.
Well, they
scenario.
had things they dangled and things to manipulate. What is a cult I guess I don't know. There's plenty of things, I guess.
Manipulate power, the power of guilt, the power of shame,
The power of promise of what's to come. Maybe.
Group theory, guys. That's why I'm a loner.
Is that why you're a loner?
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of groups. I get worried.
Is that why you're a loner?
I come from the George Carlin school of group think. Don't be in one. Yeah,
Got
it's
it.
dangerous. When you start getting people together in groups, then it's a problem.
It gets scary.
Look what we got right now. We got America.
That's a big group.
Yep.
Are you part of that group?
I think so. Yep. Californians versus Floridians.
Oh well, I came from Florida.
I know.
and now I'm a Californian.
And
The Republic
Florida
of California
Florida man versus California man.
versus Grizzly Man.
Ooh, that was a good documentary.
It was.
Are you a Werner Herzog fan?
I feel like I mean that was a great one.
I love him.
I feel like that documentary kicked off like the documentary buzz.
Yeah, at the time you're probably right. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I worked at Blockbuster
Oh, you did?
around that time, so right before they all shut down.
Mm-hmm.
They were just closing stores on me. I was getting transferred to new stores left and right.
Oh, wow.
I was manager there too.
This in Florida?
This was in Florida.
No shit. Blockbuster manager of Blockbuster.
Dude, that was my fucking...
How is that not on your resume?
Like, why does that need to be on I'm a fucking
That's
filmmaker.
class.
Why does that need to be on my resume?
I mean, I don't. That feels like something out of a Quentin Tarantino biography.
Well, I mean, we're doing great stuff over here. I appreciate that. That is the most highest... That was very nice of you to say.
Yeah, and Bill Hader, I remember watching an interview on him. He was, he worked at a theater like before.
He did.
Yeah. The one I saw was where he like ruined Titanic for a group of girls.
I think I saw that
Yeah.
interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I think it's because
I never thought to do that.
a lot of these filmmakers, when we get into it, we feel like we want to be so connected with it, but we can't get into the business just yet. But we're connected to it, and we
Yeah.
just want to live and breathe it
well,
in the best
because you
feasible
love
way
it.
we can.
I think that's the most important thing. is
that was
you
my
love it.
best job. My favorite job. I mean, I worked there for so long, and then I became a store manager. And then they were transferring me.
So just to know, I know it's supposed to be about me today, but let's on a scale of 1 to fucking annoyed. What was it like when you would open up the video and you would find the VHS tape not rewound?
I love how you said VHS because when I worked at Blockbuster, it was all DVDs and Blu-rays.
Oh, I'm giving you my age, ladies and gentlemen.
You just.
I'm dating myself. First movie that I remember seeing in the theater.
You just gave up your age without giving up your age. Oh,
first
you fucked up.
movie I remember, the re-release of Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, you are disgusting.
Yep, I remember
You are
that.
disgusting.
I remember seeing Back to the Future. My mom took me to see Back to the Future.
You saw it in theaters?
In the
How
theater.
old are you? I thought you
79 years old. I'm 79. How do I look?
pretty bad for 79.
Oh shit.
No, I honestly, okay, tell me if I'm right here. I'm gonna, I thought you were around 37, 38.
Nope. Yep, I'm 27.
Wow, you look pretty good.
You think like let's see, Back to the Future was like in the early 80s. 84, I think, 83, 84. Yeah, something like that. Maybe 85. Cuz I lived in Florida for a little bit. We moved around a lot. My dad was in the
So
government.
if you saw that and you were like a conscious human,
Mhm.
then you're like over 40.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy. to
I'm
me.
proud of it. Yeah.
I mean,
think
you 100% should be, but I
Yeah.
thought you were like, just a couple years older than me.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I wear sunblock. I think that's good.
I know, I can see it on your face right now.
Yeah, I put some on today, knowing that I was going to be at the promenade. Yeah, no, I just love movies. And
You must listen to Baz Luhrmann, his sunscreen song.
Oh, he has a sunscreen? I didn't know
Oh,
that.
really?
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he's got an excellent song. It's not even a song. It's just a fucking monologue of him giving advice from an older person to a young person, and the
about
song is
sunscreen?
called Sunscreen.
Okay, yeah.
And he
He-
brings up how you should wear sunscreen.
Does he call it sun cream or sunscreen?
Screen.
Oh, maybe it's because he's Australian. Because if you're British, it's sun cream.
Are you
British?
British?
No, but I thought Baz Luhrmann's Australian, and I thought maybe because of the British Australian contingency that they probably both called it sun cream. But yeah,
What
just
British
like they call
Australian-
it, they don't call it a windshield, they call it a windscreen.
Who does?
The British, the Australians.
Do they not know what a screen is?
Well, I guess they don't. I don't know. That's maybe before they were glass, they were made out of metal.
Well, I mean, a screen could also be a screen that you view.
It could be, yeah. It
So
could be
doesn't have
right.
to
It
be
could be
mesh,
a movie screen.
technically.
Could be a movie
It
screen.
doesn't have to be technically like mesh, but I just don't. It doesn't fit for me. It's like a submarine. Those window screens.
Oh yes,
It just doesn't
like a port window. Yeah, a
It just
window.
doesn't make
yeah.
sense to me. Screen.
Yeah, no.
But
I
then
agree.
again, in France, when they order French fries, they don't call them French fries,
yeah.
and they wonder why the fuck we do.
Oh man, America is just a big, big question mark sometimes.
It is, isn't it? And it's funny.
Conundrum.
Yeah, it is. It's a conundrum.
That's a good word. I like that word.
That's a fun word.
Feels good. Oh, hi. My name's Dave Conundrum. How are you?
Is that a character you made up, or is that just how you're feeling?
I just made it up.
Okay, well,
That's improv, guys, right there.
it is improv, and now you know why we have him in the movie.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. At least you didn't break anything. We've got
This microphone is starting to anger me.
What's it doing?
I just feel like its arm, it's like trying to grab me.
Well, he is trying to embrace you, but you have to let it. Mine is more of like a shoulder tap.
I have to let it hug me.
Yours is more of like a choke. Mine's more of like a shoulder tap.
Yeah. I like how you have it up. You have more like a boom style.
See, we tried it your way.
Yeah.
We tried it this
But
way
then
on,
it'd be in
on
my
your
face.
angle, but we got a big,
Yeah.
if you watch the first couple episodes of the podcast, all the guests have a big fucking black
It's like
bar
this.
going across their, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Like you could just like cover me out of the whole screen.
That's right. But we figured it out now.
You should just shoot the legs of your guests. Like you don't shoot the upper half, you just shoot the lower half.
That could be for a niche audience
Mm-hmm.
that are very much into that.
Yeah. It's a footwear show. I mean, we do have really good footwear, by the way. I don't know how much you can see on camera here, but we're really rocking.
We are rocking.
Really some nice footwear, guys.
We're rocking. I think you have to raise it.
If we have any sneakerheads in the house.
Well, I'm not one of those.
Oh, you're not.
I'm more of a t-shirt guy. I'm rocking the Sun Goku, baby.
Oh, manga.
Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.
Hell yeah, manga.
I used to grow up thinking I could be a Super Saiyan and have reoccurring dreams. Tell me about your reoccurring dream. I know you told me you had one of those.
Oh man, my big one I think has always been being chased in my dreams.
Like Indiana Jones, or like Crash Bandicoot, or like by a monster.
It's been different things. As a kid, I was being chased by like a shadowed like monster.
Holy
creature.
shit, dude!
And I grew up mostly in rural Maryland in the woods, and I had this weird reoccurring dream where there was like a subway car in the woods, and it's chasing me through the woods, and I would end up at one end of the car.
What do you mean subway car? What does that mean?
Like a train car.
Oh, okay,
You
got
know,
it. I thought
like you have a
I thought
door
meant
on
like
an
it
end
had
and a
logo
door on an
on
end.
it, and it was
No.
promoting sandwiches for you in your dream.
No, like a subway. Like if you go to the subway, you have a segment of a subway.
I got
they
it
call it
now.
a car. Have you ever been on a subway?
A what?
Harrison?
I've eaten at Subway before. Yeah,
I mean, I know you're from Florida, but
yeah, I've eaten at Subway.
okay, eating at a subway.
Yeah,
So there was a subway car in the woods.
that's wild.
No
dream.
business being there. It felt like something it would be like out of a Chris Nolan film, and yeah, and this thing was chasing me through the woods, and I would end up at one door on one side of the subway car, and then the monster would be on the other side, and then I would run down towards it, or it would run after me, and I would run out the other side.
That's really scary, Dave.
Yeah, but I've read about dreams, and that's being chased is a real common
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I've read a little bit about them, but it seems like you know a little bit more. So let me ask you, because I've had a dream.
Mhm.
I had this dream. I think I only had it a couple times. I had a couple reoccurrings, but one of them is I got eaten by a hammerhead shark,
Whoa.
and then it like jumped in between a tree, and then we just got stuck there and died together. I don't know. It was really weird.
So were you in the water, or
No,
were you on land, or both?
I don't remember how I ended up getting eaten by it, but I got eaten by it, and I
You were
just
mauled
remember-
by a
No, it wasn't
hammerhead
in the
shark.
maw. I just gulp. I was like
Just took
alive
one-
in its stomach.
Oh wow! So it just took you whole.
Yeah, it just took me. Which a hammerhead couldn't even do that.
Yeah. And then somehow it got trapped on a tree.
Somehow in between like a Y-shaped tree, it was
Yeah.
stuck in between.
And then
the
was
Y.
it because it's stuck in a tree that it couldn't keep swimming, so then it couldn't breathe, right? Because sharks have to keep moving.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't know the first. I just felt the feeling of not being able to move, and we were just there.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then another reoccurring dream I had for years.
Mm.
For years when I was younger, from 7 to 12 maybe.
Uh-huh.
It was around the time Jonathan Taylor Thomas was a big child actor.
Oh yeah.
So I would have
Uh-huh.
this dream, and obviously Halle Berry. I had this dream that I would get into a pool with the two of them, and we would just be hanging out.
Holly Berry
And Jonathan
Taylor
nothing sexual
Thomas.
ever. Nothing sexual.
Yeah.
We're just vibing. Nothing
Whoa.
sexual.
Yeah.
Weird. We're just hanging
very
out.
strictly platonic.
Very platonic.
Holly Berry, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I think
Was Tim Allen anywhere?
No.
Were any of the other cast of
it
Home
was
Improvement?
it was just the three of us in a
Wow.
pool, and
Okay.
I think Halle Berry was like fully clothed and everything, and
Yeah.
so was like we were all just like wet in a. I don't know.
Because I think at this point, Jonathan Taylor Thomas would love to be in any kind of environment with Holly Berry. I think he would love that.
I don't know. We'd have to ask him.
I would.
Well, that's you, Dave.
I would happily be involved in that conversation.
We don't know if Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Halle Berry had a falling out.
That sounds like a new podcast, right? Holly Berry and Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
It sounds like one that would come out of left field that like would be a banger.
No one would expect this.
Nobody would expect that.
Yeah.
That's like putting Daniel Radcliffe and JoJo Siwa in a podcast.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Right?
Very,
That's really random.
very interesting mashup that you would have. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
What would you get out of that?
Um,
That's a thinker.
I mean, the question is, does JoJo Siwa even care about like Harry Potter? Like, is that even a thing?
I think she does.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she
Yeah.
cares. But Daniel Radcliffe is not just Harry Potter. He has made a name for
Oh,
himself.
sure. But I'm saying like
The
his
topic would come up for sure of Harry Potter.
legacy.
His legacy is Harry Potter.
Yes.
I would say so.
Yeah, he's going to be cashing those checks for a long time.
I'm sure he's not too disappointed about that either.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, think about it. That was like 10 years from the time he was a zygote.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
him and I are the same age, so we kind of like I watched the Harry Potters and we were aging together, and I remember
Yeah.
it came out in 2001 and we were both 11.
Mm.
He's 89. He's just a few months younger than me,
Did
older
you-
than me.
Did you read the books?
Huh?
You know, they made them. They were books.
Oh, I
before
don't
they
know
were
how to read.
movies.
I don't know how to read.
You don't know how to read, Harrison.
Don't know how to read. They call me the White Floyd Mayweather.
The Florida public schools. This is why.
Thank you,
guys.
Florida
This is
Public
why.
Schools. I don't know how to read. Someone had to do this for me.
I don't. That should be a T-shirt for Harrison. If you guys are out there, fans of the podcast, send him a shirt. Go on Etsy, send him one. I don't know how to read.
I'll wear it. I'll fucking wear it on the podcast.
Yeah.
If any of you really want to send me that shirt, I will fucking wear it. Let's reach out to me somehow, and then we'll figure out how you can ship it to me.
Hi, Kane. Kane, the
you.
PA, is in the shot or behind the shot.
She's the production cat.
Yep, she's awesome.
Yeah, my nickname for her is Crimmies. Creamy.
Cremies?
Crimmy.
Crimmy. Whoa.
Oh, yeah. When I say that, she reacts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say her name. She
She's
reacts.
beautiful, though.
She's a herder. She
She's-
herds.
Oh, I thought you meant herter, like HURT.
No, she herds.
Oh. Is that an important task in being a PA for the podcast? Herding your guests?
Yes, because a lot of them get lost sometimes.
Guest wrangling?
Yep, and
Yeah.
they need wrangling.
Yeah.
But I think that all of them. Let's move on. I actually have.
Uh-huh.
You're like looking at my
Uh-oh, what's in
pocket.
your pocket?
It's just something.
What's in Harrison's pocket?
These are called Aqua Notes. And-
Aqua Notes.
And I don't have a sponsorship from them, but Aqua Notes. Let's talk because I often use your notes in the shower.
Aw.
They
Oh,
are
they can
notes.
Get wet.
Yeah, pencil.
okay.
You don't. Their slogan is never let a great thought down the drain or some shit again. Some
Awesome.
fucking
Okay.
shit.
I didn't even know that was a
So
thing.
I often write
So
in
waterproof
my
notes.
shower.
Well, so can you write on it with regular pen and pencil?
Yeah.
Oh my
the
God, my name
pencil,
is on
They
there.
have the pencil there. I often write some podcast questions in the shower,
Oh, okay.
just
All
like
right.
to
That's-
that I think of, and just to
Yeah.
keep us on a structure because
So
we
would
are
you say
improvising.
that some of these questions could have been written while you were washing your junk?
No, I often can't multitask, and I'll often just sit there
Okay.
focusing on writing.
Got it.
I
So
won't
you
even
stop.
touch. I won't even touch my penis or anything. I think my other hand's just like there,
Got it.
and I think I'm just I think what
So
often
do you have
when
it
I
like on a clipboard or?
no, it's just like a suction.
Oh, okay.
And I think often the only thing I think about often when I'm writing notes in the shower is fuck, I'm wasting a lot of hot water because I'm just sitting here writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I really think about. I think.
So you really don't go in the shower to bathe yourself and wash. You go in there to brainstorm ideas and make notes.
You go in the shower to bathe and wash? That's disgusting.
Sometimes. I mean, I think that's why we started this whole process.
I use the Santa Monica sand.
The sand. Okay.
It's makes for roughness, but exfoliation.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see that. So you bathe at the beach in the
Yes,
sand,
yes.
and then to get your inspiration and creativity,
I take
you shower
Yes,
and take notes.
indeed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So, actors. So, Dave Cerwonka.
Uh-huh.
Not weird. Great last name. Let's talk about that.
Okay, sure. We can do that.
I mean, when I first saw it, is it a stage name or is that your name?
Yeah, no, I thought, what is the most weird, bizarre thing that can come out of somebody's mouth? So I'm gonna use that. No, that's my family. That's my dad's family's name. It's like Czech and Polish, and my grandfather took the Z out of it. So it used to be CZER,
That makes sense.
which I think would have been a lot easier for people to read and pronounce. But yeah.
Wait. I think the opposite. You
Oh, you think so?
the way it is right now is difficult for people? It's been difficult for you?
Well, not for me, but I think
others,
for
obviously.
people, a lot of times they see it and they think it's Cerwonka, like the hard C. Not the S.
Cerwonka. Well, that
Yeah,
I think
the
you can.
hard
I
C.
think that is a failure of, again. That's why I can't read. That's
Mm.
a failure of the American education system. If
Yeah.
people are saying Cerwonka,
They say Cerwonka.
then there needs to be a K there for
Cerwonka.
that to be a Cur.
Sri
That
Lanka.
Sir is a CER. That's a Sir. That's not a
yes,
Cur.
Yeah.
Cur would
like
be
SIR, yeah.
KUR maybe.
Yeah, but if you saw a CZ, you would know for sure it's
You'd know for
Cerwonka.
sure it's Zer. They would
Yeah.
say people would say Cerwonka. They would say
Mhm.
they would call you that Cerwonka.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I think it's a really interesting and unique last name
Oh,
because
thanks.
of the word Wonka. It's
Yes.
very associated
Mm-hmm.
with like very happiness and bright vibrancy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then
can be.
Sir is really cool because it's like I don't know. It just sounds like
Can
a,
also be associated with Roald Dahl, who wrote the book, right? Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but also he was a massive anti-Semite.
I didn't know that. Thanks for bringing that on here.
You're welcome.
Perfect stuff, Sir Wonka.
Yeah.
Anyway, so great last name.
Thanks.
That was weird. What? Oh, we talked about what got you into acting, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Was there like
being-
a specific? Was there like a specific person as well, like that you aspired to be like? Like Jim Carrey was big for me, and Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, early '90s SNL. I mean, I was actually just brainstorming this. I think to me, like, if you can think about different skits, SNL skits that I think are the funniest of all time, I would say by far the funniest, in my opinion, Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley, Chippendales Dancers.
Oh, that's funny. Don't think I saw that one.
You have to.
That's a
look
great
it up.
one.
I think it's
You
by far the funniest.
It's
thing
really
you'll ever
interesting
see.
because we met you because of Modern Society.
Mm.
We were gonna work together on that, but it
Yep.
just ended up not happening, and that was kind of molded off of like SNL, Mad TV,
Mhm.
Modern
Yeah.
Society,
Sketch comedy.
fully improvised. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if SNL. I don't think SNL is fully improvised.
No. Yeah.
But yeah. So okay, so you grew up watching that stuff. You like that?
Oh yeah, In Living Color was one of my favorite shows of all
In
time.
Living Color, Jim Carrey, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
I mean that. My thing was I have always loved comedy. I grew up. We had records. We had Richard Pryor. We had Steve Martin. We
Yeah.
had Flip Wilson. Bill Cosby.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was a big one growing up.
Wee-oo,
This was,
wee-oo.
I mean, I still, I mean, the bonding, the only time that, because in my family we couldn't talk about feelings. My parents were very distant emotionally, but we could sit around and watch the Cosby Show and see another family going through things and having emotions and feelings, and that
That's
was a
interesting.
cathartic experience from my angle.
Wow.
But to see obviously where that's gone now with Mr. Cosby,
Wow.
I couldn't imagine even trying to have that conversation now.
And so, like, do you have a relationship, a more open one with your family now?
I do, yeah. I mean, some of them still are on the same page that they were 30, 40 years ago. But I've definitely, spent a lot of time reflecting and trying to figure out myself and be, I think as a performer, like you really have to, I think the most important thing for me is to as a comedian, explore your vulnerabilities, explore your the things that make you who you are. And I don't remember who was telling me this years ago, but like the most specific thing about you is also can be like the most universal thing.
Interesting.
And I feel like the more you talk about the vulnerabilities and the things that hurt you in your life or that shaped who you are, the more empowering it becomes when you're in an audience
I
setting.
could agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. Very wise. Very great perception.
Yeah, and I think for me the hard part is because I was the youngest of 6, and the message was from my parents, especially my mom, who was a housewife and raised me, was there are others to be considered. Like the idea that having anything for yourself was kind of selfish. So for me, learning to write and find my voice and being okay with having things for myself and knowing that it's not selfish to have hobbies or passions or whatever, whether it's music or art or comedy or acting or whatever, is okay to do. And you know, in the Catholic thing, it's always like a guilt and shame complex. So learning how to get rid of that and not own that anymore and throw that aside is really powerful. And it's why I'm here today.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
I think I could agree with a lot of things you said. I think being vulnerable is important too. I think opening up, and it's just great for it's just evolving as a human, helping create awareness and within yourself, reaching new levels within yourself.
An evolved
of
Florida
understanding.
man. There is a man from Florida, and he's evolved.
There's a few of us.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few, but
notice he's not there anymore.
We left. Yeah, that was my next thing. We left, so they're not there right now. But they started there. Maybe there's a couple there, but
I've always said, like, if you meet anybody from Alabama when you're in Los Angeles, they're the best people from Alabama that you could meet.
I think everybody in Los Angeles is the best part, or maybe worse, some too.
Some of the worst, yeah,
of where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
It's a plethora.
There's a polarity.
There it is. There's a polarity.
Yeah.
But going back to, not even going back, I want to kind of go a little deeper into something else. Not deeper. I would say let's move on to something else because I understand that not only are you a comedian and an actor and an ambitious filmmaker out here in Los Angeles, but you're also an entrepreneur as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your company. You have you work with animals. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with dogs. I've been around animals my whole life. Growing up in my family, I mean, I talk about it on stage, but like I learned with parenting and dogs both, I've learned like what not to do. You know, my family experience was like, these are not the right things to do. And the same with dogs, you know, like my dad, my brother bugged my dad at 16 to get a Rottweiler puppy, you know, and that's like giving your 16-year-old an AK-47.
Yeah.
You know, what's going to happen?
And he's never raised an animal or knew nothing about them, right?
Yeah. Didn't know shit about them.
Yeah.
He was also kind of on the sociopath side of the scale.
Nice.
Then he became a Marine, if that gives you any idea, for 25 years.
Yeah.
He loved to beat me up as a child. He was 8 years older than me. So I looked up to him, but he hated that, you know. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to dress like him, and he just wanted to squash me at you know, because when you're 16 and you have an 8-year-old younger brother, that is not cool. You know, you don't want your friends seeing this 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But I was, you know, kind of out by myself. So, I learned like how not to treat a dog. You know, he didn't know how to housebreak the dog. He didn't know I mean, we grew up in the middle of nowhere, so he didn't leash train the dog. The dog's favorite pastime?
Eating people?
Close. Well, eating light bulbs, chasing cars.
Nice.
So you would hear, in my neighborhood, you know, a car coming from 3 miles away. And, of course, he named the dog. What did he name the dog? The Rottweiler. Guess.
Killer?
Close. Thor. So Thor's favorite pastime, how to get out his energy, was chasing cars. And you would hear him a mile away.
I think I know how Thor met his demise.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But he actually tried to stop my middle school bus and he got hit by the bus. And I lived up a big driveway, big, long, steep driveway.
You
and
were in the bus when it hit?
No. I was up at the top. I had gotten off the. No, I don't. What was the deal? Where was I? Maybe I was on the bus at the time. Yeah, maybe I was.
Oh my God!
He hit the bus. The bus hit him.
Yeah, the bus
and then
hit
he
him.
ran up my driveway, which is like an eighth of a mile long.
After getting hit?
After being hit by the bus. And, hit the bumper. The dog flew through the air.
Oh, yeah.
And then he ran up my driveway, and he died up at the top of the driveway.
Yeah, he was still adrenaline.
Oh, yeah. But,
oh, my God.
Yeah. But that was his, and the dog wasn't very old, maybe 2 or 3.
Oh, my
at the
God.
time. But,
Fuck.
yeah, chasing cars, guys. Don't chase cars. Eventually, you're going to lose that.
Or let your animal
chase cars. Not a good idea. But, yeah, that's not the dog you want to give to your 16-year-old son, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've always been around dogs. I love dogs. And, my first love was music, is music. I was in bands for a long time, and I had been on tour, and we stopped touring, and I needed work. And it was actually when I lived here in Santa Monica when I first came to L.A., and then I had moved to downtown, and I didn't want to go work in an office somewhere for somebody else. And I had young dogs that I was out walking 2 or 3 hours a day anyways. So I decided to start my own company, and Walk Fido is my dog walking business that I've had for 18 years.
Walk Fido.
Yeah, that's
18 years.
Yeah.
Wow. And how, what is it? Like, how do we
We have a website. We are in the process of building an app.
Oh, nice.
We have an Instagram page. Walkfido.com. We're, anything dog oriented. If you need training help, if you need consult help, if you need walk stuff, sitting services, we do all that stuff.
So it's like Rover, I guess.
It's like my own little private Rover.
I love that.
Yeah.
Support the small businesses.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Like
fucking
the
love
movie
that.
my own private Idaho, it's my own private Rover.
I love that.
You're welcome.
So I'll definitely look it up.
Hell yeah.
I know. So you have employees or?
I have a staff.
I love that.
The first year I was doing my own by
Of
myself.
course.
30
you do
to
this
40
20
miles
years.
a
You're
week.
like fucking deep into it.
30, 40 miles a week, busting my butt.
Wow.
But see, the challenge is walking on concrete for 30 miles a week, for 52 weeks out of the year, it really wears you out,
Yeah.
so you got to figure out how to divide
Delegate.
and conquer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't do it.
100%.
So yeah, so
That's
I
great. You
started
got a
interviewing
staff.
people and hiring people, and I've definitely got a book in there about that experience. Hiring the wrong people. Oh my God,
Boy.
how many hiring people that would hijack my company, hold my dogs hostage.
What the fuck?
Nuts stuff. Yeah, hiring crazy people. You have to learn. You have to learn who not to hire. Don't
Oh
hire
my
people
God.
that hold your dogs hostage.
Oh
You're
my
welcome.
God. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Don't hire people who yell and scream and hit dogs. Not a good
don't
idea.
do that either.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, no, I had
So
some.
you have good people working for you now?
I do now. Yes.
Okay.
All my people are good now. But no, this was years ago. But yeah, no, you get even when you check people's references.
Yeah.
It's like having a nanny or it's a high trust, high responsibility job.
Definitely.
And even if you check references and you do background checks, at the end of the day, people are going to do what they're going to do. The challenge is nowadays, everyone has a camera. Everybody's walking around
Oh yeah.
with a camera. And so, those people quickly filter themselves out.
Everyone's got multiple cameras in their house now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But everything is a learning process, just like filmmaking or being a teacher or having a dog walking business. And, learning to trust your gut. Sometimes your gut tells you, you make a mistake. And when I interview with people and clients who want to hire us, I tell them, look, we try to do our best. I try to hire the best people. If we do make a mistake, the hope is we don't make repeated mistakes. That's the goal.
Oh yeah,
but
of course.
if you want an error-free experience, then you need to hire a fully automated drone dog walking service. And until I can create that service and then sell it for millions of dollars.
Are you working on creating that
Oh,
service?
yes. Yeah, the problem right now is the drones keep cutting the dog leashes off, and then the dogs are free, and we don't get them home.
Every time you and I speak, I know when you're kidding and when you're not, and I only knew right at this last moment you were kidding because you gave me a little smirk. But for the first 3 seconds with the whole drone, I was like, he is working on something.
When
you said cut the leash, I was like,
I thought about
okay,
at first I thought about Segways. You remember the Segway?
Yeah, of course.
Did you know that the guy that invented the Segway died by riding one off a cliff?
Yeah, I
Isn't
knew
that
that.
crazy?
I knew that.
Isn't that
One
crazy?
of those really interesting facts.
God.
That's like a super weird coincidence at the same time.
I mean, that's so meta.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's fucking crazy.
I mean, think about how successful. I wish that could happen to Zuckerberg or Bezos. You know what I mean?
What,
like someday Jeff
Dive
Bezos
on Facebook.
he's crushed by a book, a tractor trailer full of books.
Or oh my god! Or a drone picks him up by mistake and drops him. An Amazon drone picks him up and takes him somewhere.
Zuckerberg decides to finally fly his own drone. That's on automated Facebook AI, and it craps out mid-flight.
I was thinking about Bezos packaging himself by a drone, and then
he gets dragged into the warehouse, and he gets shipped, wrapped up. Yeah, no,
the constant causes trauma. The constant movement and the packaging because they don't handle with care, and that's he was on a mission to prove that he handled with care.
Yes, yeah, right.
That's the movie right there. He was on a mission to prove that his packages are handled with care. So he packaged himself up and died in the process due to the head trauma of not being handled with care.
Speaking of Bezos, something that I like to do in my free time, you guys at home, this is a really helpful tip if you're stressed out and you want to have some fun, is you can just go on your phone and take a photo of Jeff Bezos and then go in your Instagram, stories, because you can add GIFs and images and things, and you can just draw different kinds of hairstyles on his head, and it's amazing. It's you could take your gorgeous locks and put them right on Bezos's head.
How would that look?
Oh my god, it'd be fantastic.
It would be. It sounds like it'd be pretty cool. That's I love that you do that.
You could give him a Larry, Moe, or Curly. Well, not Curly, but you could do a Larry or a Moe on him.
Dave, you're showing your age again.
Hey, look, if you don't study comedy and the history of comedy, Lucille Ball, The Three Stooges, I mean, one of my most favorite shows ever. Every episode of The Golden Girls, it still holds up. Just fight me on it.
I'm not going to fight you on that.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know how someone of that caliber fights.
It's dangerous.
I think it might be.
I think nowadays you can watch all that stuff on YouTube. And Abbott and Costello, as a filmmaker, oh my god, they meet the werewolf. They meet Dracula, all these crossovers that they did.
Yeah.
Fabulous stuff.
I was into that stuff when I was younger, like the werewolf and the Dracula and the Wolfman. And
oh, yeah.
That whole, that was our extended universe. That was, you know how there's so many extended universes now, DC and the Marvel? Yeah. That was ours.
Yeah,
that Dracula
horror.
And the Wolfman. It started with all that. Yeah. That was the fucking open universe shit.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love horror, and it's always been a big. I like being scared. Halloween is my favorite holiday, I love creepy, scary, suspenseful films and stuff like. I mean, some of the weirdest ones I saw as a kid, like Alfred Hitchcock movies, and just suspense and not. To me, the scariest thing to see is the thing you don't see.
Yeah, for sure.
If you guys remember Blair Witch, if you saw Blair Witch,
that movie was crazy because you never saw the witch.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the idea, the whole movie was just essentially a concept.
Yeah, something's watching you, something's following you,
and
something's chasing you in the woods.
I feel like if we saw it now, it'd be a piece of shit. Maybe not. Yeah. I don't want to shit on it, but I was I thought it was really cool when I was 12, and I don't know if my coolness matches the same as did when I was 12. Like my
Yeah.
idea of what's cool.
Well, I think it's like anything else. I just went back. I love like Mad Max films.
Oh, it's like it's age. That's
Yeah,
it's gonna
and
show
if
its
you
age.
and if you go back and you watch, the films again,
It's gonna show their age. for
yeah,
sure.
sure, in certain ways.
Yeah.
My thing with Blair Witch, the problem was, I grew up where they filmed that in college. I used
Oh
to mountain
my
bike.
god,
So that area is called Rock Creek Park, where they filmed that.
that would freak me
And
the
the
fuck
house
out.
at the end of the movie, there's like this old decrepit house.
That's
in
really
the
that
woods.
house there.
It's literally, if the camera panned over, you're right by the road. And you would ride your mountain bike in from the road, and the first thing you would see was this old decrepit house.
Oh my god.
So as soon as the end of the movie came to this old house,
oh my god,
I was out of the movie because I was like, I know exactly where that is.
Oh my
I know.
Everyone
exactly
thought it
where
was
they shot
real.
that.
It was like Paranormal Activity. Everyone thought it was real
Yeah.
when
Well,
it
the
came out.
house is really there.
But like even the Blair Witch, the movie, everyone thought
Right.
it was real.
Well, and but think about, this was before cell phones.
Yeah.
It felt like found footage, right?
Just like paranormal,
they,
yeah.
They went through the woods with the camera, they
footage.
filmed this thing, and then what happened to them, right?
Yep.
And then all of this is, to me, that's what I love about film is like, people see the horror films of the 1930s and 40s and Dracula and whatever, and now you have all these other things that have come after it, and it's all part of this wonderful thing called.
But what's
film.
really interesting is if you start to watch it
Mhm.
from that time to now, a few years ago, it may be getting a little, I don't know where it is right now, but it was really good, and then it started to get a little watered down. It's really interesting.
You mean you're talking about like horror films? Or you
Yeah.
talking about like current stuff?
I wouldn't say current right now.
Mm.
It's very unknown right now. I think there's a lot of good and bad maybe right now,
Mhm.
but if you look at as a whole from that time to this time,
Yeah.
it's like it started so strong with these original stuff, and then it like started to get all watered down a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, I think also you have in every genre, like you have this point at which you can make fun of the genre
Yeah.
inside of the genre.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And parody the thing. And think about like Scream and like you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
that's like Ghostface is like one of the first things that comes in your mind when you think of a horror movie.
yeah. but
Ghostface is like what you think of. Scream, the guy from Scream with the knife. That's like what you think of.
But the whole thing was making fun of the horror genre and like how ridiculous this stuff is.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. To me, like what I like is that there's always an interest in being scared. And yeah, it can. I don't know. I think everybody has different experiences that affect how you experience a film or a movie or whatever.
100%.
And that plays into it. But yeah, I think like anything else. I mean, now, like you were saying about comic book movies and the oversaturation of comic book movies, and I mean also like look at like Star Wars and how like
Look at what?
Look at Star Wars.
What's
and
that?
Just exactly. Just how there's
I know 1
so-
through 6. I don't know
there's-
anything beyond that.
There's so many. Like I loved one of my favorite Star Wars movies, like modern ones, Rogue One. I love that film.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I really
Because
enjoyed it.
I liked it because it honored Vader and it showed the side of Vader that we all know, the scary. It showed a really
Sure.
scary side of him, and
Yes.
it honored it.
Yeah, he's only in the movie for like a minute.
That's
But it's
it.
like the whole
but
movie.
But it literally, it's like
Yeah,
that's all we need. We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
need you to be honorable to the characters
sure.
of what we know them to be.
Yeah,
And I like how it actually took place like a week before Episode 4. That was kind of cool too.
yeah. And like I really enjoyed Andor, and I liked
Andor
the first
was very
couple of
good.
seasons of
Andor was very
Mandalorian.
good.
But just
First 2 seasons of Mandalorian were good. The
Yeah.
third one, it's a trap.
Yeah. But I think it was watching Liam Neeson being interviewed and just saying how he feels like, it's diluted. The
Agreed.
Because we've now gotten to a point where it's available anytime. They're constantly making new stuff. Like I don't know what the Acolyte is, but I know that's like a thing now.
Yeah, and
that's coming out.
It's being ripped apart by critics.
Is
ripped
it?
apart. Just
Is
like
it
every-
available? Can you watch it?
Yeah, there's like
Oh,
the
it
first
is.
4 episodes are
Have you
available
seen it?
on Disney. I haven't watched anything Star
Oh,
Wars
got it.
since I was
Since Return of the Jedi.
since 9. unfortunately.
You haven't watched anything Star Wars related since you were 9?
No, since Star Wars Episode 9.
Oh, Episode 9.
It's
Got it.
2017.
Which one was that? The Rise of Skywalker?
Yes, that was when Luke gave up.
He quit.
Yeah, that was when Luke quit.
When Luke got his drug habit.
No, I watched Mandalorian. I did.
Okay.
I watched Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't seen anything really after that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Ahsoka as much as I got excited about it.
Yeah.
The concept, because 10 years ago, when everyone found out that Vader had a secret apprentice, or like when everyone found out that during the Clone Wars he had a secret apprentice,
Yeah.
Anakin, that was a great idea, but then it started to get really diluted and
Yeah.
yeah.
There's so much content, guys. So much content.
Quality over quantity.
Yes.
Passion
Yeah.
over profit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, dude, this feels like a really good spot to stop.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Yeah, no, I feel like I've said all I need to say. So is it time to? What are we gonna do now?
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna tell you to get out, and then
you're gonna tell me to get out?
So if
Okay.
this is the end, this is
All right.
the end, and
This is it.
It is.
Okay.
So then Dave,
Okay, hold on.
he's getting ready for it. He knows it's coming because it comes every episode.
Oh, this is like
Dave.
This is like a little.
Okay, you can stop. Just get the fuck out, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. Okay.
Okay.
My dog's gonna eat you on the way out.